Armored Daredevil Process Art. Step 1. Concept. This brainstorm session is captured by small, fast thumbnail sketches that explore different compositions, camera angles, and poses. This third concept sketch uses a mid-level camera angle to see the figure ready to fight. This fourth concept sketch is a variant of the first sketch above. This fifth concept sketch is tight on the figure and would require mirroring left and right to properly position his chest symbol. This second concept uses a high camera angle to see the figure perched on a gargoyle. This first concept sketch uses a low camera angle to see the figure diving into action. Quick shadow fills reveal the scene lighting. My intention is to render this illustration in relatively high contrast. The winning concept progresses to Step 2. Layout. Drawn at reduced size, this moderately detailed sketch refines figure anatomy, background perspective, general lighting, and overall compositional balance. I often use cylinder body forms to flesh out the figures. This technique breaks the body down into very simple shapes that remove the complexity of musculature and clothing in order to focus on core structure. This is a great way to control body proportion and limb foreshortening, body line and balance and movement. With this strong structure in place, it becomes much easier to build out first the proper musculature and second the clothing and costuming. This is also the best step to work out the detailed perspective required by the chosen setting, which can be quite complex. I often separate the layouts of the foreground and background to offer compositional flexibility. With the background in focus, apply the desired perspective system to give the setting its own depth and energy. Here I'm rendering the perspective organically in freehand in order to create a sense of sagging decay in the urban background. Finally, I bring the foreground and background together in Photoshop and balance their sizes and relative positions. This merged layout is then enlarged to full size and printed out. This enlarged layout progresses to Step 3. Pencils. Drawn on a light box using the layout as the underdrawing, here we lock down the final forms and shapes, surface details, and lighting. I almost always start with the face, as it is really the most important part of the figure. If the face isn't right, the overall illustration is severely handicapped, no matter how great the rest of the art may be. Why? It's because we connect with the humans inside these costumes. We relate to their challenges and struggles, to their successes and failures, and all of that drama is expressed in the face. I prefer to render in pencil very tightly in order to very clearly define these critical details, not only of the face, but of the other elements in the art as well. The penciling is the best place to figure out all of the minutiae encountered along the way, because if you initially get it wrong, it is easy to scrub off and try again. I also prefer to completely fill the shadows in the art. It helps me to ensure proper balance of the overall composition so it feels right on the page and properly directs the viewer's attention to the center of interest. This tight pencil drawing progresses to Step 4. Inks. Using crow quill nibs, brushes, and technical pens, we focus on line work, separating planes, and applying special effects. As with the pencils, I prefer to start with the face, taking great care to manage the lines used here. These nibs and brushes have the fantastic ability to alter their line width throughout a stroke, and care must be taken to control this variability, especially when detailing the eyes, nose, and mouth area of the face. Inking the body and background is far more freeing. Here, large variance in line width can bring a lot of visual energy and excitement to the forms. Other tools, such as French curves, ship's curves, circle and ellipse templates, triangles, and straight edges, all have their uses. In this illustration, I use these tools to render the mechanical aspects of Daredevil's armored costume, his billy clubs, his armor plating, his wrist mounts. As I render in ink, I'm mindful of the high contrast style I want to feature. That means I'll preserve a strong separation of light and shadow and include a discontinuity of some contour lines of highlighted surfaces. The crow quill nib is my primary inking tool. However, the brush is an incredibly versatile tool. Not only is the brush great to fill in the blacks, it offers smooth and clean lines that are great for touch-ups. So that's it. I hope this helps you to create cool art of your own.